Alright, so both of these guys starting in Sanctuary and immediately grabbing the cape, that's not really something you want to find early on.
Nope, cape is one of the items required to get to AGA 1, and nobody wants to do AGA 1, like, ever.
Yeah, you'll see these guys probably, if AGA 1 is indeed required, you'll see these guys exhaust all possible options, no matter how far away or out of the way they might be, before they actually make their way up to AGA 1, I'd assume.
Maybe. Sometimes racers like to just assume that the AGA play is the correct play if there's only a few locations, like, say, Agina's Cave, and then, like, Zora. But yeah, a lot of the times racers will end up clearing everything. It looks like nothing but a big 20 in the Lumberjack Cave, so the AGA hype is dying a little bit.
Yeah, definitely not gonna see those guys grab that.
Nothing but a heart piece here in the forest. We'll see what's in the Thief's Hut here.
Another big 20, and as you were saying earlier, Gem saving and quitting, probably gonna go the south route here towards Kakariko to farm some bombs in those bushes.
Yeah, I do like this route specifically because it does, like you said, it does give you bombs. AmazingAmpharos has one bomb that I believe he got from a drop, but you know, you still need 3 bombs to get through Kakariko, so if there aren't any bombs in chests in Kakariko, we might need to have AmazingAmpharos go and buy bombs.
Yeah, or he might use that single bomb that he has for the little bombable hut in the south, giving him 4 guaranteed bombs. The downside to that is he has to make the trek all the way to the south and then back up to the north to bomb open everything that he wants to bomb open.
Yeah, I hate being in this situation because if you don't find bombs in this cave or Blind's Hut, you need to decide whether or not you want to go buy more bombs or just gamble on Kakariko Well having bombs.
And Gem is having absolutely terrible luck. He's lifted up those bushes for the 3rd time now, only grabbing 1 bomb so far.
Yeah, and AmazingAmpharos does find 3 more bombs here, so we're good for Kakariko at least. And we also get a fighter's sword here in the back of Blind's Hut, so not a swordless seed, but the Master Sword Troll is still in the cards.
Yeah, can't count anything out yet. Alright, and Gem is saying I have had enough of this bad luck. 2 bombs have to be enough.
Yeah, that's a bit of an annoyance. Those bushes are only 50-50 drops for bombs, and sometimes it feels even less. We also get the powder here in the time trial. It looks like Gem is going to be picking that up.
Yeah, definitely wants to have that, and AA picking up a fairy in a bottle here down on the well so he can check the sick kid as well as the bottle vendor now, who only sells him 10 arrows. So I'm gonna assume Gem is gonna grab this powder here and then use the last bomb that he has on that little hut that I was talking about earlier. Not the worst, but unfortunately for him, he'll have to make his way back down south after he grabs that bottle from the well to check the sick kid.
Yeah, it's not too far of a walk. This is kind of a poverty Kakariko. It looks like we have a particularly literate kid giving you his storybook. I don't know what he's going to be doing now while he's lying in bed, but I guess Link needed it more.
Definitely seems like it. Alright, AA deciding to spend 50 bucks here on bombs as well as Gem. Doesn't want to be bombless anymore.
Yeah, one downside is that Gem might not be able to check the bottle vendor AmazingAmpharos only has 50 rupees right now, although it does look like he bought 10 bombs. So Gem might have the 100 rupees for the bottle vendor. It's just... I don't know. I think one of these runners is going to have to go to Houlihan sometime soon.
Yeah, with how poor this seed has been so far, I wouldn't be surprised to see it. Hey, also deciding to grab that powder, you don't want to leave a fetch quest item behind. Plus, even though these guys definitely don't need it, having a little bit of safety in the back of your hand can't really hurt.
Yeah, if this is like a early Turtle Rock seed, powder can come in handy, especially if you're forced to go there with like green mail and like 8 hearts.
Yeah, and so far not only have the rupees been missing, the hearts have been missing as well.
So I'm assuming AmazingAmpharos will probably be visiting the South Shore now. I was actually going to say the front of Escape, considering we have a sword, but apparently I don't have the same routing acumen.
Alright, so Gem about to pick up his sword, while AA making his way into the mini Moldorm cave. Decides to go from east to west since he found the book, so he's probably going to check the dam after this and then make his way right over to the desert area.
Do you get a Master Sword here in Mini Moldorm Cave? And there's our money, and a lamp.
Gem is saving and quitting out of Thieves' Blind's hut, which I'm a little bit surprised about.
I believe that was everything, because he checked the sick kid.
Yeah. His,
so the only...
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, the only thing he could have checked, I believe, is the lumberjack. But I don't think he would want to do that. I don't think he did do it earlier either.
No, he did, just a second before AA did.
So we do see a bit of a route divergence. Gem is opting to go into the front of Escape. With luck, he'll get a key, and then do the dark rooms to get to the back of Escape, because the lamp is in that Sphere 0. The logic could easily make him want to go that direction.
That's a pretty nice treat pull here, just 80 rupees, considering how little they've gotten so far.
So I want to point out something. With the items we have, Aga 1 is in play. It's like doubly in play, because we have both the Master Sword and Cape.
Yeah, and considering we don't have any of the items that we need for Dark World access, it's looking more and more likely. Though to be fair, we do have a bunch of things open to us. We can't quite finish Desert, we might even be boots locked. But I'm sure that's the next stop for AA, as well as the Guinness Cave.
I think I'm gonna say that Hookshot is in Desert. I think that's my prediction here.
A hookshot in Desert, where would that get us?
To the West Dark World, after we do Aghanim.
Yeah, okay, that sounds reasonable.
Although we still need flippers, a hammer, or a glove to do that. So one of those 3 has to be found, unless our next progression is in Palace of Darkness without a bow or a hammer.
Well, we'll also need that Moon Pearl, or we won't really be able to do anything.
Yeah, but Moon Pearl's on the pyramid ledge.
Yeah, of course. Just a big 20 in a Guinness chest here. Let's see what we can find down in Zelda's cell. Ooh, the mirror.
The mirror is very good for Gem, because now he didn't actually set up a death warp, but now he can just walk like right up here and check this dark sewer. If he had decided to do Mini Moldorm Cave before this, he would have the lamp to do this, you know, with light. However, I'm honestly thinking this might be a small key because we have yet to see a glove.
Yeah, we will have to see. If this is not a small key, we have, at least for now, no way to get to the back of escape. Those 3 chests there will be locked from us for a while. Alright, let's see what I can do here in Desert. Gets a small key, so no boots locked so far.
Also, I missed it. Chad is pointing out that the bow is on the desert ledge, so that opens up like all of Eastern Palace, including the boss.
Oh wow, yeah, that's very good for AA. He can clear out quite a bit of the overworld.
In addition, the bow will also allow us to explore the entirety of Palace of Darkness, except for the boss. This is interesting. This is the first time I've seen this sort of death
AA
warp.
forgot about his fairy.
Oh, okay. So I guess it's still... I still have yet to see that kind of death warp.
Oh, and Gem did indeed find a small key, so he'll check the back of escape here.
For Gem's sake, I hope this is a glove. Or the hook shot.
Alright. We'll take it.
So the hook shot doesn't really get us anything yet. We don't have access to Death Mountain. AmazingAmpharos also finds the Quake Medallion on the lamp in Desert Palace. We don't know if that's required yet, but I'm sure these guys are going to remember that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And anyway, the hook shot doesn't get us anywhere until we decide to do Aghanim. Or until we find a glove.
Yeah, all it does right now for Gem is speed up his overworld traversal a little bit. Which is nice, but as you say, not really a progression item at the moment, I guess.
AmazingAmpharos opting to not kill Landmolas, which I think is a good idea. You know, most of the time you'll have the flute, mitts, and mirror necessary to get back into Desert Palace quickly.
Yeah, plus he has no gloves right now, so...
That is true. Yeah, I always forget about the vanilla stuff in this game.
Yeah, who wants that stuff? So I believe that was the first map check for AA. He's just making sure that he's not clearing out a pendant Eastern for no reason.
So we'll be seeing what's in the back of Sahasrala's hut. Nothing but some love and money. And honestly, with the seed as it is, I'm like 90% certain this is going to be an Aga seed.
Yeah, at this point, I find it very hard to believe that we're gonna find 3 items, or the 3 items that we need to get into Dark World without killing Aga. We might find 1 of them, maybe 2 if they're lucky, but they're not gonna find Gloves, Hammer, and Moon Pearl, or Gloves, Mitts, and Moon Pearl.
Gem getting a little time save in that hook shot, being able to hook shot clip through the block and then check the chest there. Usually you have to enter this dungeon or dam area, push the blocks out of the way to get the chest, leave, come back in, and then like the block moving fairy pushes the blocks back to where they originally started, and then you can push them again and get to the back area to actually drain the dam.
Man, this game has a lot of fairies. I've personally never heard of a block pushing fairy before, but that makes total sense.
Yeah. It's the same as the, or it's related to the fairy that keeps putting money inside bushes. And explosives.
And guards.
I think that's not a fairy. I think that's just Ganon.
Can you imagine being a bush guard? That's gotta be the worst job ever.
I can think of some worse ones.
Yeah, I mean, you sit in that little bush, crouched down all day, just waiting for a Link to come by and slash that bush.
So Gem is just playing catch-up right now, going into Desert. Gonna be grabbing that bow. Gonna be getting that Quake information. AmazingAmpharos, meanwhile, is able to go through Escape. However, AmazingAmpharos hasn't done... Or sorry, AmazingAmpharos is going through Eastern and hasn't done Escape yet.
Yeah, Gem, as you say, is this desert check behind, but he has a little bit of saved time by doing Escape and finding that hookshot, and if this seed keeps being as linear as it has been, we might not see AA check that Escape too soon, I'd say. We already know from yesterday he skipped out on Uncle and Escape for quite a while.
Yeah, but what does he have to check at this point? We can't even get to Zora.
Well, he might fake Flipper to Zora if he grabs the last 38 rupees that he needs, but without the Moon Pearl it seems unlikely. Oh yeah, now that I see it, Gem also with that mirror has a bit of an advantage here, or at least a bit of a time save and having to get back to the entrance without a failed death warp and then walking back.
Yeah, an AmazingAmpharos finding the boots in the vanilla big key chest in Eastern Palace. So, is there a term for that? Like, it's not French vanilla, but the boots are still tied to Eastern Palace in the vanilla game.
Yeah, that's... I know what you mean, but that's like, I don't know, a cousin, like the third cousin 4 times removed or something.
But those boots don't really do much. It gets them whatever was in the library, although I don't remember if that was anything, and it gets them to Bonk Rocks.
Yeah, except for the Bonk Rocks, doesn't really open anything up.
And Quake.
Oh yeah, and Quake.
The top 3 medallion finalist. Okay, so we get the flippers off of Armos. That opens up a bit more, including Zora.
Yeah, AA is still short a little bit of money for Zora. A Gem almost at 550 rupees, so he might opt to go there right away. I don't know what AA decides to do now. He's probably going to check the Bonk Rocks.
Yeah, Bonk Rocks is kind of a no-brainer check, I think. It's right there. It's one location. It's one save and quit cycle. And Gem is still playing catch-up now, just going into Eastern Palace. Now I'm wondering, if these flippers send AmazingAmpharos somewhere and he never goes into Escape, could we see a mirrorless AmazingAmpharos for quite a while? Or does AmazingAmpharos go to Escape right now?
Looks like he's definitely going up there. We'll have to see how far down he decides to go. I'd assume he's checking Uncle first. Yeah, going the standard route to Uncle.
I don't understand this route, but I guess it's slightly faster if you have boots.
Yeah, maybe because you don't have to walk up to Uncle and then back down. That's his thought process, maybe?
AmazingAmpharos will also save a tiny bit of time. Oh, not even a tiny bit, like a pretty decent amount of time, because he has the lamp and boots, whereas Gem had neither going through those dark rooms.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna have a little bit of an advantage here. The question is, well, I think with the mirror down there, it's not even really a question, but I was gonna say, does AA check that dark sewers chest, which is not dark for him anymore, obviously, but we've seen people leave it behind.
He's definitely going to check it, especially considering the mirror is inside Zelda's cell.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very no-brainer check at that point. It's like the game is giving this item to you and saying, here, use it.
Yeah, with that mirror down there, there's almost no doubt that he's going to mirror back and check that sewer chest. AA now also has more than enough money for Zora, so that could also be on his mind.
Yeah, and so does Gem.
So I'm going to assume both of these guys, Gem is probably going to finish up Eastern around the time that AA is done checking the sewers chest, so he might be pretty synced up more or less after these guys are done with their respective locations where they're at right now.
Yeah, Gem is in like the second half of Eastern Palace, whereas AmazingAmpharos still needs to grab that mirror and then make his way all the way to the back of Escape. And here's where, like, I think AmazingAmpharos' routing is a bit more solid. Some runners in this scenario might opt to skip out on that dark chest.
He still death warps. He's like, all right, I already set this up, so I might as well use it, damn it.
Yeah, it's good, especially because he was down to 1 heart. And the critters in the sewer aren't that threatening, but they can still catch you off guard sometimes.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to die here. It's not a huge time loss, but it's just a terrible feeling. You don't want to die to a rat or a snake or something down here.
So yeah, here's where AA is saving some time, being able to very quickly get through these rooms, whereas Gem had to feel his way around using his sword.
Yeah, this is going to be quite close. As I was saying earlier, I think they'll be finished with their respective locations at about the same time, and then I wouldn't be surprised to see them both go the Zora route.
Yeah, Zora's pretty much a no-brainer, and also checking Hobo. We did see Gem actually checked what's on the Hylia Island. I think it was just a red rupee. Using a strat,
Yeah.
I was confused. I saw runners doing it for so long without understanding how it works. And oh my goodness, AmazingAmpharos is making the play to Aga 1.
Okay, that's interesting. Why not? I guess he thinks, all right, this is. I'm here already.
So
might as well get it over with.
Here's why I don't like this this play. They are a glove away from being able to get to the entirety of Light World Death Mountain. 1 glove away. They are 2 items away from, or I guess they're 1 item away from Dark World access, but it would have to be the Moon Pearl on the pyramid. I think what Gem is doing is the correct decision, just because I don't know. I don't actually think Moon Pearl is on pyramid.
Yeah, With the mirror, he also has, well, he does not have yet access to Hera, but as you said, there's only 1 glove missing for them to basically finish up all of the Light World Death Mountain, so yeah, we'll have to see.
And honestly, this might just be a calculated risk from AmazingAmpharos. He is up a game. This is a best of 3. he achieved his goal in this tournament of getting to top 8. So maybe he's just taking a risk because it could pay off really well, and if he loses this game, it's not a huge deal for him. He has another game to come back, you know.
Yeah, very true. Alright, we're seeing Gem check out the Zora area. The Waterfall Fairy has nothing for us so far. Let's see what we can grab on the ledge, and maybe from Zora, him or herself. I'm never quite sure.
And don't make a liar of me, Zora.
Yeah, only a heart container on the ledge, so unless Zora has something, we're gonna see Gem heading up to Aga as well.
Oh my goodness!
Oh man.
So that is Death Mountain access, which Gem is going to be going towards immediately.
Yeah, not skipping a beat, immediately saving, quitting Sanctuary. This could be absolutely massive for Gem. The one time you don't check that stupid fish.
Yeah, and a lot of the times it's because you don't have flippers, but you do have the glove to get there. And this time you had the quick way to get there, and AmazingAmpharos didn't take the bait.
Alright, so there is a total number of a lot of items up here. So we'll have to see what Gem can pick up while he's up here.
It'll be extra interesting if the Moon Pearl is on the pyramid. It doesn't necessarily mean AmazingAmpharos made the... Well, he obviously did make the right call by going to Aga because it would be required, but it might also send him in a direction that is like a red herring.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, we still don't quite know. For all we know, Gem could find nothing but heart pieces and rupees up here. There's a red boomerang on Spectacle Rock. Let's see what we'll find in the cave.
I don't know.
I didn't quite catch it, but I think it was bombs.
It was definitely a shadow.
Yeah.
So not only do we have Death Mountain, we can do Hera, we can do Ether Tablets. So we got all kinds of possibilities.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff to check, and he can even finish all of Hera with that fire source that he already has.
We just get a little bit of love from the gods today.
Ooh, Sank Heart.
Okay, a lot of love.
Alright, let's see what the pyramid has for us.
We also get a map check.
Yep, green pendant and Tower of Hera, a red crystal. Oh, just bombs here.
It was green pendant Turtle Rock, I thought. Then
oh yeah, sorry, that's what I meant.
Red pendant Thieves Town.
I saw a red crystal at Skull Woods, and that's about all I caught.
So AmazingAmpharos really has to play catch up.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, the Aga play, not necessarily a bad thing. However, with the boots in hand, Gem can use glitches, minor glitches, to get to East Dark World if required.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, there's the basement key.
Yep, I haven't been keeping count. How many items have we seen in Hera so far, if any?
I believe we've seen a green rupee, that's about it.
Amazing value.
Yes, absolutely. Alright, here comes the Troll Dorm fight. 3 Master Sword spins will take him down.
Can Gem escape the German luck and not get Troll Dormed for like the 5th game in a row?
Oh man, it's looking bad.
Oh my.
Oh, he poked them.
We've reached the enrage phase.
Oh no! Oh, he's got him. Phew!
I don't understand what Trolldorm has against Germans, but
Yeah, he definitely doesn't like them. Alright, so there is an item in the basement as far as I've counted.
yeah, I'm wondering. You don't really skip basement at this point, do you? No.
No, you don't, because Jem probably still got that AGA 1 on his mind. And I'm wondering how upset AA will be with the gloves that he will be getting in a second.
Yeah, for AA, this is it. This is the last possible location.
Alright, he's going to be making his way up Death Mountain as well, I'm pretty sure.
So Jem is not taking a coffee break, instead choosing to fight the tiles. I don't think that gets you through the room any faster, but I guess he thinks it's fun.
Yeah, it makes it a little less boring, I guess. Alright, let's see what we got here. Bombos. Okay.
So get a mitt, or get the mitts, and we can get into Ice Palace now.
Okay, so we got Hera out of the way, our second crystal for Gem. Now we're coming to the juicy parts of Death Mountain and the Light World, I'd say.
Yep, Paradox Cave has a... I think the technical term is a metric crap ton of items. And Spiral Cave has one more, so about 8 items over here.
Oh man, look at all those hearts. Starting out strong.
And if by some luck we do get the mitts, we'll be able to access Dark Death Mountain, check the Turtle Rock Medallion, and do the 6 or so items there as well.
Well, we can do the Super Bunny Cave. We're still looking for that Moon Pearl. But
Mitts.
burn the witch is all I'm gonna say to that.
Interestingly enough, Gem is opting to do the bomb jump instead of just going... This is actually weird routing. He's going to do the Spiral Cave first, and then go downstairs and do Dark Death Mountain. He does have the mirror, so he could have just gone downstairs, gone to Dark Death Mountain, went back up to the top of Dark Death Mountain and mirrored, and done Spiral Cave last.
Yeah, true.
But we also have Ice Palace in play as well.
Well, again, without the Moon Pearl. Okay, never mind. Guess I'll just shut up now.
Oh, that is true. The Moon Pearl for no Dark Death Mountain. It's weird to not see Moon Pearl for 30 minutes in one of these races.
Yeah, it's weird to not have it, but turns out Gem's routing wasn't so bad after all. Grabbing that Moon Pearl before going to the Dark World Death Mountain, pretty good choice, I'd say.
Honestly, as Chad was pointing out, and I thought about this, like, I don't think where any other locations Moon Pearl could have been.
Yeah, we were definitely running out of locations, so I think Chad is right.
Except for King's Tomb.
Yeah, okay. Fair.
So we are going to be able to see the full extent of Dark Death Mountain, gaze and bask in the glory of the big 20 and 10 arrow drops.
And with the mitts, we also now have, well, and the Moon Pearl that we keep forgetting about, we also now have official Dark World access, so Well, we're still missing the hammer, so I don't want to say that the Aga 1 play was a complete waste of time yet. But if we do find the hammer, it definitely was, sadly, for AA.
Yeah, there's pretty much no way Gem does Aghanim at this point, even if Hammer is located in the east side of Dark World, because he can do water walk glitches to easily get over there.
Yeah, that's true. You'd probably only need Aga 1 still to get the big bomb to the pyramid to open a pyramid ferry. But as you say, there's a couple of minor glitches that can easily be done for Gem to get that bomb there without the hammer.
Mm-hmm. So something I'm noticing, look at those pendants and crystals. Specifically, the pendants.
See, I was going to mention that earlier, but with 3 Light World crystals, there's a good chance you might get a seed where you get exactly what we see here. A Misery Mire and a Turtle Rock both being pendants. We're going to ignore Thief's Town for now because, as we've seen yesterday, never ignore Thief's Town.
Yeah. I think Gem is going to be going there pretty soon. But with Misery Mire and Turtle Rock as pendants, it's entirely possible that the Red Cane, the Cane of Samaria, is like in Ganon's Tower and not even required to beat the game.
Definitely could be, yeah. I mean, Gem already has the silvers and a Master Sword, and in theory he has the equipment that he needs to beat Ganon. I'm trying to think what, assuming we don't need to visit Misery Mire and Turtle Rock, what do we still need? A hammer? And,
Fire Rod.
Yeah, Fire Rod for Skull Woods, that's true.
I think that's it.
That's about it, isn't it?
And I guess we did get the Master Sword, so my prediction of the trolley Master Sword has unfortunately become dead. Gem is doing a route in Skull Woods that I'm seeing a lot of runners do lately, where they go into the actual door of Skull Woods and then grab that first chest and then leave and then fall in the hole. At least that's what I thought he did.
I think with the mirror in hand, it's a pretty good choice, because if you fall down the hole, all you're going to be mirroring back to is that little spot where you fell down the hole, and that really doesn't get you anywhere.
Yeah. It's good because it gives you a better shot of getting a small key. It might even be guaranteed, but I don't know the logic 100%. A lot of the times, if you just fall down the hole, you'll get blocked and have to go through the party Gibdo room to actually exit Skull Woods. Like, the mirror can't even get you out because the mirror will just bring you back to where you fell in.
Yeah, if you fall down that hole and don't grab a small key in one of those 2 chests that are available to you, you're definitely stuck going through that trap room.
So AmazingAmpharos, forgetting like we did. I guess he's going to do Super Bunny first.
Yeah, I think he's going to do the route that you were talking about earlier.
Can you do this? I didn't know you could do that. Push the blocks and mirror cancel them while as a bunny.
Yeah, it's the Super Bunny K for a reason.
That is one Super Bunny.
Oh, so wait, are we seeing Bumper Cave? I didn't pay attention at all.
Yeah, Gem is picking up the flute here on the Bumper Cave ledge. Not technically required unless something in the mire area leads to the end of the seed.
Yeah, you don't want to skip out on the mire area, especially not with mitts in hand already.
Yep, and Gem is also going to be checking the graveyard ledge, getting this out of the way because there's not really any other good time to do it.
Yeah, I like this. This is a location that a lot of people don't really route into their I don't know, their way through the seed, I suppose.
So, do you think Gem is going to go to Catfish?
Yeah, I don't think he's going over that far, though. He might be proving me wrong right now. Oh, looks like he's heading back to Village of Outcasts, maybe.
Dang it.
One of these days, Rubel. One of these days.
Just go there. It's right there. It's not that far.
It did have a sword upgrade yesterday that only AA picked up, so that kinda counts, right? Oh, and very true, AA could not do Hookshot Cave. I think the only thing we really found in there were the silvers.
Oh, that is true. He didn't bother going back upstairs, huh?
Yeah, I guess with those mitts in hands, he doesn't want to waste any time checking dungeons or whatever else he can check. Gonna be making a dip into pod here. He does have the bow, still missing the hammer, but there's quite a few chests available to him even without the hammer.
We do get the tempered sword here from the magic bat, so that's like the best sword upgrade you want to see.
Oh man, this is kind of crazy. Yesterday, AA got a tempered sword from Catfish that Gem never checked, and you might see Gem getting a tempered sword from Bat that AA maybe will never check.
Yeah, without the hammer, the magic bat is kind of a pain to check because you have to leave your Dark World portal up on that ledge in an inaccessible area. But the way Gem routed this, like, he's able to do that and then, like, walk up here, activate the flute, and then probably go back into... Actually, I think Gem's probably just going to go to Mire right now.
Yeah, probably. So we're going to find out what medallion we might potentially need, as well as grabbing 3 items and maybe finishing up Desert.
Yeah, with Tempered in hand... and the silvers, I think Gem is going to be finishing up Desert. Which is definitely a good play, especially considering Mire itself is a pendant, and unless this is a pedestal seed, we might never have to come back here.
Mm-hmm. We also see that we require Quake here for Misery Mire, so we can't quite get in there yet. Even if we wanted to, not that we do.
We could. He could go grab it from the lamp here in Desert.
Oh yeah, very true. I forgot about that. It was in Desert on the torch.
In fact, like, do you think Gem might do that? It's extra time investment having me go back into Desert, grab Quake, and then leave it, all to do, like, enter a pendant dungeon. And the pendant dungeon only has 2 items.
I don't really see him doing it, but we've seen crazier stuff happen, so I don't want to count it out completely.
But would AA do it, especially with that failed Aghanim play?
Depends on what he finds in here, I'd say.
Yeah, this seed could be pretty trolly if Hammer is inside of Palace of Darkness. We could give AA a distinct advantage.
Gem barely missing the serial cycle here, just... Ooh. There we go. Oh man, and the fire rod here on Lamb Mola, so that leaves only the hammer for Gem before he is in go mode, which is insane.
Well, Schrodinger's go mode. Because we still need to know whether or not we need that cane.
Yeah, true.
The red cane blocks about, what?
4?
5, 6 items?
Really? Is it
5
6?
items? It's tile room and then the 4 on the right.
Oh yeah, of course, it's 5. I forget about tile room.
And that is, I don't know the exact numbers, somewhere between a 20 to 25% chance of where the key is in Ganon's tower. But here's the thing. If you're a runner like this, do you bank your entire run on that 20 to 25% chance, full clear everything until you find that cane? Or do you just grab everything you need, strictly speaking, and go, and just hope that the cane doesn't troll you?
That's a really good question. I'm gonna say that if the best thing, obviously, for Gem would be that he finds the cane before he finds the hammer. But I'm thinking that if he finds the hammer, he's just gonna go mode everything. Maybe hope that the cane is somewhere on the way in the go mode dungeons or on a boss. But I don't think he's specifically gonna go looking for it.
So, AmazingAmpharos is fulfilling my dreams and visiting Catfish. We'll see what he has in store. Even if the Catfish has the hammer, like, Gem is blocked out of so much of this game without the hammer. The only thing is, Gem could potentially go into Ice Palace without the hammer.
Yeah, now with the Fire Rod and the flippers already, it looks kind of interesting.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Just do Catfish. Just do Catfish, please, Gem.
I can't believe the seed. But as you say, without the hammer, Gem is thankfully pretty blocked out of a lot of things. I still do believe he'll dip into Pod before he goes up to Quakefish, but, well, you know.
So, AmazingAmpharos still needs to find that flute, unless he really wants to go through Desert again, like through the front door.
Mm-hmm.
I think AmazingAmpharos will be putting off returning to Desert.
Is he going to Ice Palace?
Yeah, I believe he is.
Oh, man. And Gem here still deciding to, does he want to go back in there and grab that last item or not? He thought about grabbing that little chest and checked which dungeons items he already had, and I guess he's opting for the big chest over that little chest down there.
Huh.
So if this isn't the item, Gem will probably gamble on not grabbing the last item out of here, which we know is not a huge deal, but he doesn't.
Did you get the blue cane? So Gem made the right call. Oh, I think I know. It probably had to have been a small key. Because,
oh, yeah, of course.
Because Mothula can't give you a small key or the big key that leads you to a small key.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Gem found both of the other dungeon items.
I have a feeling Gem is gonna go grab the frog. Oh, no, he's dipping into Thieves Town. Also no good.
That is...
And, sorry, go ahead.
That is a pretty big waste of time, especially because if you spent the 30 seconds it takes to go to Catfish, you'd be in go mode by now.
Yeah, people need to listen to you more. The problem I'm seeing here is that yesterday, only checking the first 4 chests of Thieves Town burned Gem so hard. Having a bad feeling that he might be checking out everything he can in here.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh man, and the mushroom.
For Gem's sake, I hope that something in here...
Oh, he's leaving!
...the cane.
I hope he checks the mushroom immediately and then goes over to Quakefish. That would be amazing. Or rather, the other way around, I guess. He does have the flute, so getting over to the mushroom spot isn't too bad. Perhaps the ether, the only medallion we don't need.
Yeah. I mean, not to keep bludgeoning it, but assuming Kane isn't required, we are in no mode. We know everything there is to be needed in this seed and where it is. So Gem, I don't know, Gem just really needs to make his way over to Catfish.
These guys are getting some amazing luck on their digging games. Yesterday they had a red rupee after the first dig. Today they have a red rupee after the second dig.
This is a sort of seed that just kills me because not only can Kane potentially troll you, but like neither of these runners are in go mode yet. Both of them have a place to go that is somewhat out of the way to actually get that item. And they might, both of which might end up clearing more of the game than they would have needed to actually attain go mode.
Yeah, I don't know. Yesterday we saw that Gem never checked the catfish, and I'm hoping that is not the case today.
Gem is opting to just walk the purple chests or run it somehow.
Yeah, probably wants to check that mirror spot down here. He could still stumble upon the cane somewhere, so that wouldn't be too awful for him.
He also never visited the pyramid area. Maybe Gem might, for once in his life, go and check that catfish instead of going into Palace of Darkness.
Ah, we can only hope. The problem I'm seeing for Gem right now is he will probably dip into the dungeons before he goes to Catfish. And with the Fire Rod being on Lanmo, I think there's a good chance that AA will grab his Fire Rod before Gem decides to go check out Catfish and grab his hammer for the go mode.
Maybe. So let's think here. AA can't do Turtle Rock, can't do Mire until he visits the North Dark World. Is currently doing Ice Palace, can do Thieves Town, which AA might actually do. Can check Skullwoods, but can't clear it. AA can also fully clear Swamp Palace. So I think that's where AA is going next, to Swamp Palace.
Yeah, it's a pretty item-dense area, so I wouldn't really blame him. Swamp Palace is usually one of those places that you want to save for last and really go mode it if you can at all.
So that is one benefit I think Gem has. There is no way Gem is not in that Schrodinger's go mode and doing the full clear of Swamp Palace. In fact, I don't even think Gem is going to be entering Swamp Palace without the hammer. Like, that's like the last thing you want to do.
Yeah, this is definitely something Gem is not going to do until it's his very, very last location. Nobody wants to go into Swamp looking for the hammer in that first chest.
The only thing is that ice play. Because so many times, hammer is in Ice Palace and you get screwed.
There's half magic, so that's a nice find. Wouldn't really call it a hype cave, but half magic, we're not gonna say no.
You know it's an interesting seed when we're 54 minutes in and we get our first hype cave check. So where is Gem going now? Mirroring back to Light World. Unfortunately...
I think he's turning in the mushroom, then he's coming back for,
But
going to pod.
But Gem, you could do that on the way to Catfish.
Yeah, and he probably would if he hadn't checked the Zora area fully already.
I'm dead.
This is bad times for Gem.
because Gem has a pretty high value target in Palace of Darkness, and we know that there's nothing really good there, I think.
Well, I can only hope that, well, he can get over there without the hammer. I think he just realized himself.
Oh, he can. He can just swim there.
Oh, yeah, of course. Has to take the long way around. I was gonna say, for his sake, I hope he checks the pyramid and then maybe goes up to Quakefish, but he's definitely going in the pod.
That's, yeah, it's kind of slow to do that. Gem is definitely going to be going directly to Palace of Darkness. Or, yeah. And AA already did this, so it's kind of going to end up in a bit of a wash.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, like, AA, if he were in this situation and didn't check Catfish, he would have a better way to get to Catfish. Because he does have that portal.
Yeah, that's very true.
Whereas Gem, if he puts off Catfish for too long, it's going to be agonizing to get back there.
Yeah, I can only hope that he checks it after pod, because if he doesn't check it after pod, I'm not sure when he'll ever really feel to go back up there. As you were saying earlier, the upside is he's not going to do what AA is doing right now, which is entering Swamp.
Mm-hmm. So let's hope that Gem forgot about Quake on the Desert Torch.
Oh, yeah. Oh god.
So the only thing of value that AmazingAmpharos can find in here is the red cane.
Mm-hmm.
Gem is now just sort of making his way through Palace of Darkness. I don't think there's anything good in here. AA already cleared it.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen anything of value, really.
Gem.
Yeah, this is unfortunate for him right now. I mean, he is wasting some time. I can't really blame him. I think if I was in his situation, you know, Palace of Darkness over a single item location, I think pretty much every runner would do this, but
Well,
man.
There's two locations, because one is Pyramid, and then the other is Catfish. And then the third, if Gem routed it this way, he could have checked the mushroom to make it even more worthwhile, instead of mirroring back to Light World, fluting to Mushroom, or to the Witch's Hut, and then fluting back to Link's house.
Yeah, it was an interesting decision. As I said, I think if he hadn't already cleared out the Zora area fully, he probably would have routed it differently, but it seems like Gem really doesn't like checking Catfish. And that, unfortunately, is a big problem for him right here in the seed.
Yeah, so this is why I don't like it when people skip locations like this. I checked the stats yesterday. Catfish has a 13% chance to be required. So skipping it essentially means you're staking your tournament life on a 13% roll.
Mm-hmm.
When you know you have better execution than your opponent, you know your opponent's going to check that location. It just seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, I agree with you, but on the other hand, I can also see why he would go into pod before going to Quakefish. Alright, so Gem has to leave. Let's see where we're going. We're definitely mirroring and fluting away. Question just is, where are we fluting to?
Probably Ice Palace. Nope, I guess we're going into Mire.
Nope, I guess we're grabbing that Quake, yeah. Ugh. Ah, that makes me really sad.
Yep, and AmazingAmpharos finishing off Argus. So far, no value in Swamp Palace. I wasn't paying too close attention. I don't know whether he did the straight to back or if he did the left side first.
No, he still has to go back for the left side if he chooses to do so. Decides to skip it today. Alright, so we are seeing Mire dip, and the only thing that Gem could potentially find in here would be the cane, which would actually be not so great, assuming Vitreous holds an item.
Yep, AmazingAmpharos is also going to be in Schrodinger's Go mode here once he finishes Desert.
Yeah, gonna finish up Lamolas and grab his Fire Rod, and then the only thing that can save Gem is the red cane being required in Ganon's Tower, really.
It is interesting that the early Aga play, or not even early, like completely unnecessary Aga play, wasn't what killed him, or didn't kill AmazingAmpharos. He has as many crystals as Gem at this point. He's about to enter Go mode. Gem found a fetch quest item, which is going to send him off even further away from where he needs to go.
This is really not that great.
I would love to see a cane in here, honestly.
In Mire?
Yeah.
Could be. I mean, we can't forget right now, even though it's looking pretty good for AA, he does not have silvers and he is still on the Master Sword, so as far as we know at least, and as far as he knows, this might turn into a Master Sword silverless Ganon for him.
That is true. Although I don't doubt he's able to do that pretty easily.
And Maya really not giving out the items here. Another small key.
So it looks like we're going to be needing to visit the Big Key, or Vanilla Big Key location.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's a Vanilla Big Key, per se, or if that's just where another potential item is.
He got the big key in the first chest on the bridge. It would have been a God Mire if he was in Go mode and actually needed to clear Mire.
It's true. One plus side to this seed, as AA officially enters Schrodinger's Go mode, is that Kane cannot be on the pedestal.
That is definitely one upside of this, yeah.
So I will not be surprised if AmazingAmpharos just Gomos the rest of the game, although crystal-wise he needs 2, and I don't know if he's visited Skullwoods yet, but he has fully cleared Palace of Darkness and can just go immediately to Helmasaur, finish him off, and then head off to Ganon's Tower.
Mm-hmm. So it turns out the flute really hurt Jim.
That is true. AmazingAmpharos still doesn't even have the flute, although I don't even know if he'll be checking that. Probably won't even be checking the ledge.
Nope. Alright, where goes Gem? Where do you go, Gem? First he's gonna make his way into the Dark World, of course.
Yeah, Gem does not get any value out of Misery Mire. That shovel led to nothing. It's starting to look more and more like the cane is inside Ganon's Tower itself. Gem is making a play here.
I hope it's the play that I'm expecting.
It's a play I like a lot.
Yeah, if he keeps going east, we're on a good way.
Unfortunately, Gem is, I think, way too far behind at this point. The only real benefits are the tempered sword and the silvers.
Yeah, I mean, he's cleared all of Pod. He can go mode both Swamp and Ice, which are 2 dungeons that are extremely quickly to go mode. It's gonna be close. I don't think he'll be able to quite catch up, but that sword and silver's difference might actually make the difference here in the end.
But yeah, Gem is now finally bonking his head in frustration and will be achieving Go mode, or Foe mode, or Schrodinger's Go mode, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, let's see where he goes first. He's got 3 places to choose from. All of them reasonably quick, I guess. Looks like we're starting in Pod.
So yeah, Gem has 2 relatively quick Go mode dungeons in addition to Palace of Darkness. AmazingAmpharos has to make his way to Palace of Darkness as well as go through it, but they have the exact same Palace of Darkness ahead of them. Gem will have a little bit of an advantage because he can Silver Arrow Helmasaur himself.
Yeah, unfortunately, as you said earlier, it's gonna be real hard for Gem to catch up.
And the fact that Silvers and the Tempered Sword are in such out-of-the-way locations, AmazingAmpharos is never going to go there.
Yeah, he's definitely not. Well, there's a chance he might check Hookshot Cave on his way over to Ganon's Tower, maybe?
I think I've seen some runners do it. I personally probably wouldn't, except AA, again, is still on that Master Sword, so it might make him a bit more willing to keep looking for items that are on the way, at least.
Yeah, I mean, it's a reasonably quick check, and there could be a sword or silvers in there, as we know.
So AA is really only like 3 screens behind Gem at this point. He does have 2 more crystals, so he obviously has the clear advantage.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Gem, unfortunately.
And honestly, like, there isn't any situation where I think Gem does have an advantage, unless AmazingAmpharos decides to clear some of the dungeons that Gem already cleared, like Misery Mire, looking for the cane.
Yeah, I think the only chance that Gem has is AA not finding another sword upgrade in all of GT or anywhere else, and falling to Ganon or something.
So Gem opting to not use silvers on Helmasaur King, instead doing a single spin and then 2 slashes, probably about as fast, counting for the menu transitions.
Alright, so AA just about to enter his Helmasaur fight and his last crystal, while Gem still has 2 Go Mode dungeons to go. They're quick in Go Mode, but unfortunately probably not quick enough.
Yeah. Ice feels a lot faster in Go Mode, but it's still a slog. Honestly, I'm, like, very confused where all the time went for Gem. Because AA did have to do that unnecessary Aghanim. I guess Gem did check more Overworld.
Yeah, he did. He did the whole blacksmith and Gary's lunchbox, and the whole going back to desert to grab the quake from the torch and mirror back to Mire and then go in there. That costs a whole ton of time.
That is true. So if we are Red Cane blocked, AmazingAmpharos did notably skip one location, or a few locations, in Swamp. I don't think Gem is going to be checking them right now. In fact, I think Gem is just going to be go-moding this entire dungeon.
Yeah, I think so as well. And at that point, I don't know. I mean, if we really are cane locked in GT, then still the only advantage Gem has over AA is checking all of Mire, which might not be AA's first check if he does have to go and look for the cane.
Oh, AmazingAmpharos is heading into Ganon's tower. So, yeah, you stole it again.
I see you had switched up your number there, Ruble.
I did. I wanted to actually get a good number. Anyway, so there are 22 possible locations for this big key in Ganon's tower, and considering the weird scenario, I will remind you that this is going to be when AmazingAmpharos finds the big key, just in case we need to double dip GT for that big key.
Oh yeah, and it looks like AA is indeed grabbing his silvers on the way to GT.
That is good for him.
You guys have a couple more seconds here to get your guesses in.
So yeah, put a number in chat, 1 to 22. If you're a sub or have cheered 250 bits or more to any of the speed gaming channels, you can get on the leaderboard if you guess it correctly, or if you're the first person to guess it correctly.
I'm sure AA is very happy that he checked that hookshot cave and grabbed the silvers.
Just gonna stop the bot there.
Yep, entering Ganon's tower. Let's see where we can go. Keep in mind, as we've said numerous times before, he will probably check the right 2 chests here, but he can't go any further no matter how many small keys he finds.
Unless one of these 2 chests contains the red cane.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, listen, Ruble. This is not funny anymore.
So yeah, AmazingAmpharos has achieved Go Mode.
Officially.
Official. So unfortunately for Gem, that puts him at a very big disadvantage.
Yeah, unfortunately, I always say I hate calling games early, but it would require a miracle or two for Jim to catch up here. He's only now heading to Ice Palace, which he can also go mode, but it's not going to be nearly fast enough.
Yeah.
We've
Sadly,
made it through.
anybody who wanted a Game 3, I don't know, you gotta hope for, and this is bad to say, you gotta hope for like some sort of a technical problem on AA side.
Yeah, it's as I said, there needs to be either a disaster or a miracle, or both.
But I mean, AA, in terms of routing, has really done well in these past two games. I mean, Gem is one to play, you know, the logic, play the averages. You see 10 seeds where you don't need to go to Catfish or check Pendant Thieves Town. And then you get 2 seeds in a row that just destroy you with places or items in places that you wouldn't typically want to look.
So we're coming up on chests 10, 11, 12, and 13 here, I believe. Nothing so far.
So Gem is making pretty quick work of Ice Palace. He did stop and actually check a few chests, maybe to hope that he finds that cane in case it was required. And there we have it. I don't know the number of that
chest. I'm gonna have to recount in my head.
I think that's 14.
Yeah,
That's what Dr.
so.
Bob Tastic says all the time.
Yep, that is definitely 14.
So, shoutouts to Hydrophobic Walrus. That seems like a pretty bad condition to have if you're a walrus.
Yeah, that seems to be a problem. Maybe you should go see a doctor about that.
Or a psychiatrist.
Yeah, probably the better choice.
And it looks like Gem is about to be entering Cold Stare right as AmazingAmpharos is entering the Gauntlet.
Yeah, and at this point, as we've said before, there's I don't know what would need to happen unless it's something catastrophic for Gem to even have a chance of catching up here.
AmazingAmpharos having pretty good Gauntlet luck so far. We do only have that Master Sword on his side. He was able to use the spikes to his advantage there.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. And now Gem is also going to be making his way up to Ganon's tower.
So, outside of the lack of tempered or better, AmazingAmpharos is going to have a pretty easy rest of Ganon's tower. We have half magic and fire rod and pretty much everything we need to make the rest of this a breeze.
Yeah, he shouldn't have too much problem. I mean, even with Silver's Master Sword Ganon isn't a pleasure to do, but with the quality of the runners here, I don't foresee any problems whatsoever.
And it looks like AA managed to not despawn Ganon's tower, so that's good for him.
Absolutely. Still
There
checking
is...
chest.
Yeah, looking for swords, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
There is one more, I believe, potential location for a despawn that I think Adirondack Rick found in one of his races. I think it was Adirondack Rick.
Yeah, I believe so.
Which happens when you release a spin attack and move between like quadrants in a big room like this on the same frame. I don't know why that happens, but anyway, AmazingAmpharos taking down Trolldorm 2. Checking the last chest in the game for the ability to carry more arrows.
Yeah, no sword for him, so that last sword will forever be at large.
And it's just time to see how Trolly Agate 2 wants to be today.
It definitely had an absolutely terrible Agatu yesterday. I think AA said he 6-cycled him, and Gems didn't go too much better.
Yeah. So, first round, 0 hits. Second round, 1 hit. So, off to a great start. This looks like an easy triple.
Yeah, that was very nice here.
There we go.
There we go.
That was like 5 cycles?
Yeah, something like that.
So now it's just down to the big blue pig. I don't really understand it. Like, Ganon possesses Aghanim as a bat somehow, and then flies into the pyramid and turns into a pig.
Yeah, I never really quite understood how everything works out there at the end. The swag duck suddenly shows up in the dark world. Aga randomly crashes into the pyramid for no reason. I mean, why doesn't he just escape or go somewhere else?
So, AmazingAmpharos with a cape and a half magic is able to make the first 2 phases of Ganon reasonable.
Yeah,
even though he only
that,
has the Master Sword.
Also got that free green goo in Ganon's tower, so he doesn't even have to worry about magic at all.
Fortunately, still having to do 2 cycles, I believe, on both Phase 1 and 2. He's getting a little low on hearts, but I don't think that's going to be that much of a problem.
Now I'm gonna go right back to the Cane Strats, and as soon as you're done with phase number 2, as he is now, it shouldn't be too huge of a problem anymore.
Coming very close to getting hit by a fire bat there. That is one of the worst attacks in the game, I think.
Yeah.
If not the worst.
Thinking about using the fire out for a second, but then decides, nope, better save my magic and use that for the torch glitch.
Yeah. It's, in theory, about as easy to do the final phase with Master Sword, but for some reason the spins instead of slashes make it weird for me, at least.
Yeah, it's just more annoying with those spins. Alright, there's arrow number 2.
And that looks like it's about does it. AmazingAmpharos finishing off Ganon. Whereas Gem is only at Ganon Ball Z. But GG to AmazingAmpharos.
Yep, GG to AA, finishing off with an official SRL time of 1 hour 25:11. Pretty quick seat considering he did AGA 1 for absolutely no reason.
Yeah, but imagine how much further he would have been ahead if he did.
Yeah, true. So, we know that AA wants to finish up his stream before he hops in for an interview, so we probably got another minute or two before he's done here. Already gonna give him my congrats for moving on to the next round. Unfortunately, that means Gem is knocked out of the tournament. Still, an absolutely great showing for him. He won the entrance shuffle tournament. He got quite far in this one.
Gem is, I don't think Gem is very happy with me right now.
Yeah, I think Gem is not very happy with the situation in general right now.
Yeah. AmazingAmpharos is being kind of a bracket buster here. I know a lot of players pick Gem to go pretty far. Or not a lot of players, a lot of viewers, I guess.
Yeah, I'm a little sad for Gem. Of course, if we could, we'd let everyone advance, but then this tournament would never end. So, you know, this is time to say goodbye to more and more people, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think the next tournament should just be like 100 rounds of Swiss.
Oh, man. Oh, no. Oh, poor Gem. Did that really need to happen at the end there?
Trolldorm saved it. Trolldorm, you know, knew he had it out for Gem, but he lied in wait until his return.
Yeah. There we go.
Ampharos is fast forwarding through the credits so we can get him in here soon enough.
We see AA was oh, he's going back. Oh, there we go. Bombos that last chest.
It's a good way to go out.
Yep, telling everyone exactly what he thinks of that chest. Nope, he's going back again.
Coming back.
Oh, he's opening it, actually.
Oh, finally.
Alright, there goes the AGA 2 fight for Gem. We see the last of the stats scroll through here for AA. Just fast forwarded a little bit so we can get into interview a little bit earlier.
Gem having a bit better luck on AGA 2 here. Although...
AA with the 500 screen transitions exactly, 2 minutes and 18 seconds menu time. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's like sub 3 is what top runners aim for. Personally, I've only seen sub 3 like a handful of times. Like, I could count on one hand.
And it looks like AA is ready to come in, so let me drag him in real quick here. Hello there, AA, GG, and congrats, and moving on. It's blinking, you gotta push that button.
Oh, I had to hit more than one button, but yeah. I would like to dedicate this win to my friend the catfish.
Yes, you absolutely should. That
Yeah.
is indeed what won you the race. I mean, amongst your amazing routing and other things.
Yeah, this is the first run I've ever done where I have gotten 0 items from the Northwest Dark World, including the 2 dungeons there.
Yeah, what really, I mean, apart from also not checking Catfish for quite a while, what really hurt Gem is that he found the flute on the Bumper Cave ledge. And that made him go to the mire area, which inevitably led him to go back to desert, grab that quake from the torch, which was needed to get into mire, and full clear all of that as far as he could.
I was pretty sure when I grabbed it that quake wasn't needed, but I was A, covering my bases, and B, I was planning to quake the whiz rope rooms in Ganon's tower. Then I just found Kane in the tower.
Yeah, that was a nice find there in the first 2 chests.
So I just wanted to comment on something that just happened on Gem's stream. He got bodied by Ganon and fell off the ledge, died while over the hole, and the fairy he still had revived him and allowed him to walk back onto the ledge.
Oh, that's pretty cool. But yeah, shoutouts to Death Warps with fairies, by the way.
Yep.
And then having to do the whole seed with relatively poor equipment the whole time, thinking, you know what would make this less tense? A fairy in a bottle.
Yeah, that, you know, it happens to the best of us. You sometimes just forget about that fairy in the bottle that you have.
The best is when you have multiple fairies, but you forget about the second one. You like release one of them, and then you get revived by the second one.
The worst part is that Death Warp only saves like 2 or 3 seconds or something. It's a trivial Death Warp. It's just, you know, I'm like, I'll shave a second here. It'll be cool. I'll do my thing. Fairy revives me. I'm an idiot.
All right, we got Gem here too. Let me get him in here real quick. Hello, Gem. GG.
GG. How? When did you get go mode?
Fire Rod was my go mode. I'd actually done quite a bit. I had 5 crystals, but you know, I was just sweeping out those southern dungeons, seeing if I got Fire Rod in them.
I see. Yeah, I got the Fire Rod pretty early. I got the flute, then activated it and basically went straight for DP.
Yeah, I never got one of those. I actually got 0 items from Northwest Dark World entirely. I would have gotten one if Mothul had dropped one, but it was just a big key.
I see. So I guess you did South Loop into Port and then to Pyramid and Catfish?
Well, like, I defeated Aghanim. Still didn't have Moon Pearl. Was Aghanim actually not required? Because that makes me really silly if he wasn't.
Nope.
He definitely wasn't.
Oh, well, cool. So I defeated Aghanim looking for Moon Pearl, having no gloves and no hammer, just assuming he was required. I finally found a glove off King Zora. Still didn't have Moon Pearl. Went up Death Mountain, found the Pearl and the Mitts. Then I just went straight to Pod, found nothing, and my next move was Catfish, just planning to do the North Dark World. As soon as I found Hammer, I'm like, forget this, I'm going to Ice Palace. It was nothing. Save warp to Pyramid, Hype Cave Swamp, skipped left side, just went straight to Desert Go mode.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I have to admit, we were pretty convinced that Gem was crazy far ahead because you were making your way up Aga's tower, and we were watching him run up to Zora. And Zora grabbed that glove, which opened up all of Death Mountain, which of course Gem immediately checked, and ended up with the Titansmiths and the Moon Pearl in the Spiral Cave. Checked all of Dark World Death Mountain while you were, quite disappointed with what you found on the pyramid, I'd assume. We were like, alright, this is a huge waste of time for AA. And, well, turns out nothing is ever sure.
Yeah, like, I found the cape in the first chest in the game, a sword in, like, the 8th or something, Master Sword soon, and Lamp very early, too. And, after I'd nearly finished the Light World, I'd seen no sign of gloves or hammer. I'm like, this is screaming Aga Seed. I just need the Moon Pearl to start exploring the Dark World. And I had flippers, I had hook shot, like I had all the ingredients to do a lot in Dark World other than the Moon Pearl. I honestly expected Zora to sell Moon Pearl, but I thought it'd be a little more efficient to do Aga first. When he sold the glove, I expected Pearl to be the only value on the mountain, and then that's not quite how that story went.
Yeah, it felt a lot like a V18 seed pretty early on, in the fact that the game just pointed you to Zora and then had you go to East Death Mountain to get all the items you really wanted.
But yeah, Aghanim was pretty cool because he just led me to Catfish.
Yeah, that was pretty good for you. Yeah, I even went into Mire.
By the way, were there more swords other than those two we had in the first 10 minutes? I sure didn't see them.
Yeah, Batman had another sword.
And then we can all assume the 4th was in Turtle Rock.
Probably. We never saw it.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, you mentioned the cape in the first chest, and then Flute was on Bumper Cave. So, and the entire Mire area had nothing. So I just assumed it had to be in Mire, the hammer, and we had Quake sitting right next to Mire in Desert. So eventually, after clearing Pot, I just went there, and yeah.
Yeah, I can totally see how you'd make completely different assumptions about this seed if you didn't just fight Aghanim.
Yeah.
Well, I was upset with Gem for not doing Catfish. This was before you even had the thought in your mind, because he went to the Graveyard Ledge and then immediately ran back to Dark Kakariko. And I'm like just pleading with him to turn around, even though he can't hear me.
Yeah, if he'd done Catfish then and there, I'm guessing I lose this race by a mile, and he probably like PBs on this crazy seed.
Yeah, that would have been an insane time. Even at Tempered, and yeah. So, I was kind of considering even doing Catfish, but then I knew Rubel was commentating, so I just said nah.
Oh my. Did I affect the outcome of this seed? Is that legal?
I mean, I'm not raising any objections.
I mean, what might be go ahead.
I mean, yeah, I probably wouldn't have gone there anyway, but that just reinforced my decision. So yeah.
Just to fill you guys in, Rubel called the cane. What else did he call? He called like 3 items the seed. So I think there's something fishy going on.
I called
something catfishy.
Mm-hmm.
I called 2 fish items and then an item in Ganon's tower.
Yeah, one of the main reasons I even checked Hookshot Cave, which was totally worth it, was because I was looking for Kane. It's a 5 out of 22. I need it. I knew I was probably going to lose the race if Kena Samaria was required and nowhere at hand.
Yeah, that was kind of painful. You did skip out on a location in Swamp, unless we miscounted items.
Oh no, I skipped one item in Swamp. It's something I do relatively often if I'm in the overworld area of Swamp. Swamp's not a slow dungeon to check if you're willing to gamble that you're never going to check left side no matter what happens. When it only blocked one item, that at least made it minimal as a gamble. Because I would have skipped it for 2 or even 3.
Yeah, well, the thing is, if Kayn was in there and Kayn was required, which we know it wasn't, Gem would have probably had a bit of an advantage because Gem go-moded Swamp.
Yeah, and I had all of Skull and Thieves that seemed pretty likely to have a thing.
Yeah, they had nothing. Well, the blue Kayn was in the Skullwoods, which also just reinforced my feeling that Hammer might be in Mire. Because that spike chest, and then that spike chest had the shovel. And so I was like, alright, it's gotta be in Big Spot, and then it just was a hard piece.
The shovel is my least favorite fetch quest.
Yeah, I think in the end, what it came down to wasn't even really... Well, of course it was kind of catfish, but I think what hurt you the most, Gem, was finding and grabbing that flute.
Yeah, although it did give me the fire rod relatively early.
That is true.
But yeah.
Cool. Any other thoughts on this?
I mean, this was a really fast seed. I'm kind of sad in retrospect I had so many pretty poor boss fights, because I think I was in contention to PB on this seed if I'd had good Cold Stare and Ganon fights instead of what actually happened.
It seems, without trying to be, unfriendly, but it seems you could use some more Aga 2 practice.
I mean, it got better as it went. The first part didn't. There were some mistakes made on the first 2 cycles.
I mean, you got it down from 6 to 5 cycles from yesterday.
I mean, the pattern yesterday was just the hottest of hot garbage.
That is.
There were mistakes made on the first 2 cycles.
Yeah, but that is absolutely very true. That pattern yesterday was completely a dumpster fire.
Yeah, and I played Ganon just so conservatively too. Just I felt like where Hammer was, and the fact that there hadn't been a dot done indicated that I was probably ahead, and my resources were relatively poor. I'm like, just do whatever, sacrifice 30 seconds, guarantee you finish the fight, was my logic.
Yeah, and probably a good decision. You don't want to die or fall off Ganon, and then, that makes you lose the race or something. That's the worst feeling ever. Oh, and while we're talking about falling to Ganon...
Oh, yeah.
That was a pretty neat trick you pulled there, Jim.
Yeah, totally intentional. Yeah, I was weirded out when I actually didn't end up falling. Yeah, what happened was I fell off, but I also died, and then the fairy we got in the beginning revived me while I was falling. And somehow, while pressing toward the platform, that put me back on the platform, and yeah, I didn't end up falling.
I wonder if you could do short fake hovers without boots by using a fairy revival on a pit.
No idea.
Oh, man.
But yeah, it was pretty funny.
Hey, if it can cross that Moldorm 2 gap, that could be, useful tech, right?
Sure.
Well, guys, if you've got nothing else to say, I just want to give another GG and congrats to you, AA. And definitely a big GG to you as well, Jim. You've put on a great show. You've got really far. And I think you did a great job.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with getting into the top 8. GGAA, yeah, good luck with the next matches.
Thanks, Jim. Good games. Always a pleasure. I went into this tournament with the probably cocky goal of getting top 8, and I've actually exceeded it, so I'm just thrilled.
Yeah, congrats. Yeah, I'll be rooting for you. Probably, unless Gerdo makes it into the top 4. Then I won't.
I mean, Gerdo is a 50-50 of being my opponent, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Did he win this race? Anybody know?
Do we
I
want
have
to?
no-
Is that a spoiler? Because I'm watching. I have the second game up right now, and he's up a game. Gyardo.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, go Gordo.
Okay, so I'll probably be rooting against you, AA. But
I'll be rooting for you unless your opponent is who your opponent turns out to be, in which case I'm rooting against you.
yep.
Sounds reasonable. Hey man, we Germans gotta stick together.
Oh man, like I like Gerdo, but I almost Cransoon's American, right? I almost want to root him so I can play in the evening.
There's gotta be some downside to you knocking out my boy Jam.
Cool. Well, I'd like to remind everybody, if you liked, the play from either of these runners, please toss them a follow. And I want to give a shout out to our trackers. I think we had a switch in the middle. We have.
I think we actually had 2 switches.
Okay. I know there's like Floofykins. Is that it?
We started out with Flaffykins, and then we had
Flaffy.
Sabotender helping us out a little bit, and at the end, I believe Dark Shadows 59 took over, so thanks to all 3 of these guys.
Yes, thank you for your tracking. Shout outs to Herfy Durfy, co-commentator. And I've been Ruble. In terms of races, there is a race going on right now. I don't know why you're still here on Speed Gaming 1. And I think that's about it for main tournament today.
Yeah, I believe so. Of course, thanks to Fiesel, our restreamer. Thanks to everyone else involved behind the scenes, and of course also thanks to my co-commentator Ruble. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
And yeah, I think that's going to be it from us for today. So I hope you guys have a great night.
Good games to our runners, and see you next time.